Hi, this is Michael. Goldie. I have channels. Spacesbox.com is my home computer repair business, but spacesbox is my YouTube channel. I started it like nearly 15 years ago, I think. I have 780 subscribers. Not a lot. I'm not real successful. I have seen Linus Tech Tips, Linus himself at CES, at this last CES I went to, and somehow I got in as um, a I got in as a press, and I met one of his employees in the press office area. He helped me with getting the Wi-Fi. I sent him 3 or 4 emails, even emails asking to meet up with Linus. But then I had to leave because I ran out of money. I went to CES with $160, and then I gambled to another 180. Then I lost 80, but then I paid for parking. It was like 80, and I paid additional 50 for a Airbnb, and then anyway, but that's another story. This story starts when I was 37 or 38. During Lent, I started hearing voices. I heard voices like 3 times before that in my life. I heard them when I was in a cop car, servicing cop cars in Amarillo, Texas, when I was at Salvation Army in a shower, and then in my apartment at this cheap apartment complex I was living. Well, it was like a shared room, but it was an apartment. It was pretty, but it had a lot of bugs, and so I brought them over to my new apartment and still had bugs, and ended up losing my job after voices got bad. Voices started, and I was working disabled, and my boss asked me to take off. I was stupid and didn't take off. Then I got 2 bad surveys and got fired. They didn't give me my vacation. I had a week of vacation. I fought for my unemployment. They didn't give me my unemployment. They fired me for cause. I applied to work in the management a couple of times. They didn't even give me interviews. I was taking management classes at Amarillo College, and they all knew it, but they didn't give me an interview. When I asked, they kind of even laughed, but that might have been my imagination. Anyway, I've been living with voices. I finally got disability when I came to California, but my voices attacked me, and I help them and they help me, but some do attack me, and they turn my stuff off. They reverse my binds on my games. They turn my computer completely off. They turn my Wi-Fi off. They turn my wire internet off. And this weekend they turned my laptop off, and I can't get it turned back on. I've done everything. I did use a different power supply on it, but I'd use the power supply that came with it is the one I'm using currently, and it won't turn it on. It worked fine when I was at my sister's house, but in my room. I came back out and it won't turn back on. So I took it completely apart in this video you'll watch, and I took apart my desktop computer, and now my computer's working again. I'm going to try to publish this to I created like 11 or 12 YouTube channels. This one's going to be on Michael Voices Stories or something like that. Michael Voices Stories, and it shows you the process I went to try to get my machine fixed and my other machine fixed. It also shows you that I do believe in God, Jesus, but if you're an atheist, that's fine. We live in a free country and you can believe in whatever you believe in. I am connected to a different dimension. I'm supposedly really rich there, or right now I'm really poor because I made an investment choice. But and supposedly I was president there at one point, but now I'm not. I retired that. Anyway, I'm gonna write a book, but I don't know if it will sell. And I decided that I'm going to upload this video with beginning of to let you know what I've been through before you see the me trying to get my computer going and everything I went with it. I did get the desktop working. It might go down, so I may have to post with my phone. So far they haven't killed my phone. They killed other devices. They killed my friend's streaming device that he gave me to stream on Twitch and other things. And I can't get it to work. I completely took it apart, tried to connect it back up. It won't work. I took my laptop completely apart, and it won't work. Sorry for giving you the conclusion of that story, but my desktop does work. I'm going to try to use DaVinci Resolve and edit this video. And thank you for watching. If you don't think voices are real, I'm okay with that. My brother thinks this is all make-believe in my head, and I imagine all this stuff and it's hokey pokey, but I believe they're real. I believe they have souls, and I believe that we have multiple dimensions, and somehow I'm connected to two of them. And these are my stories. Thank you for watching, and here comes the rest of the video. Okay. I went to Lori's this weekend, and a voice somehow killed my computer. I hooked it up, it didn't work. I charged it all night tonight with the power plug it came with it. It still doesn't want to turn on. Robert says they don't exist. It's all make-believe. It's all in my fucking head. If they can fucking turn my shit off and turn my shit back on, and also make my stuff not work, then it pisses me off. And I have to fix it and see how I can get it to working again. Not turning on. Power plug is plugged in securely, plugged into a power outlet. Has power outlet light is on, so it should be turning on, but it's not. We'll see something else. Well, the blinking light says the power is working on this, supposedly. But, and there's power going through it. And I have a new power supply. The voices said they knocked it out over the weekend. Anyway, I came home to it. It was working when I left, but now it's completely not working. And I push the power button. Nothing happens. It's not turning on. And my brother says, "Why here isn't real." He says, "I say they have souls. I say they're real. And I think I'm connected to another dimension. I might be rich in that dimension, but in this dimension, I make $1,169 Social Security plus $150 food stamp, and then I live off donations. Fucking donations. I spent my rent check going to an event this weekend to look at new games and footage. I'm going to create a new channel with some of that. I'm hoping that I'll be successful. Then again, maybe I won't be. But I'll pray to God and pray to Jesus and the Holy Spirit. But if you're atheist, I'm cool with that. I believe in freedom of religion. I believe in freedom to congregate. I believe in all the Bill of Rights we have in the United States. I tried to give all the rights and privileges of our country to the world I was connected to in another dimension. I don't know if they ever happened. It may, and I lost it last night, but we'll try again today. Who knows if we'll get it working. I really wanted donations, but I sent them out. No one responded. And I will pray. And I sent out emails and thank yous to people I met at the conference. I don't know if any of that will come to pass either. I sent stuff on X, and none of those came out. And then all the email I sent the guy at Linus Tech Tips emails, he never replied. I sent Linus Tech Tips emails, they never replied. I sent Jay 2 cents, he did reply, or somebody from his office did. And BeAWit replied, but didn't reply because he said it was a form letter. Anyway, I tried. My shit's not working today. And maybe it's because of Browns. It might be something else. But I'm going to try to fix it. And you might notice, yeah, my room is a mess. I'm a messy person. But it's also because we moved in. I used to live off of Marquee Parkway. Now I live here. I've been living with my roommate for over 9 years. I got a degree from North Texas for concentration management and photography, and I have associates in networking computers. I hear voices, I deal with my voices, I take medicine, and I stopped taking medicine because nothing changes. So I choose to change it. I might go back to work, I might go into law, I might do a lot of things. This is me a long, long time ago. Yep. The restroom. And all these boxes. Yep, and that's me. Woo! Hi. Check out this. These are all boxes, mostly my roommate's, because she has a book collection. And I supposedly donated those books, well, copies of them, to the libraries in the other dimension. I don't know if they like them or not, but she did all the work and she paid for them all. And I owe her, I guess. And I told her. She knows about it. Anyway. And this is my kitchen. We're trying to get a cabinet in here so I can have more space. In another dimension, I supposedly have a restaurant and maybe a pantry here. I believe in pantries because they feed me, so I want to feed others. Anyway, let's see what I can do on the computers. Well, I took the case off the computer. The battery, I don't know if it's charging, but I thought I could find a CMOS battery. I can't find one, so I think I'm screwed. This might be dead. I'm gonna unplug everything, take everything off, take the memory out, take the memory sticks out, take these out, take these out, take the battery out, let it set for it, and take these out, take them all out, plug them all back in, and see if it works. And maybe God will help me get it to work. Maybe Jesus will. Maybe I will. This bums me out. Okay, I took out the memory. Took out the two SSDs. Tried to take out the Wi-Fi card. I unplugged these. Unplugged the battery. I'm hoping that I'll plug everything back in and it will boot. But it might not. And I didn't disconnect this, so I need to disconnect this still. I'll try to do that. Anyway. Looks like I found the battery. It was over here. I didn't think there was one, but since it's black, I didn't see it. It might be dead, but everything else is disconnected. I didn't disconnect this because it's about it for the speaker. I disconnected everything else. I went ahead and disconnected this and all the other things. Anyway, it's a pretty nice little laptop. It's been good to me. I bought it with money from a loan I took from the government for when I was doing my bachelor's in management. I've been hoping that other companies would send me stuff to review, but no one ever has. Anyway. The battery might be dead, so I'm going to hook everything back up, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'm going to replace this battery. I don't know. I did everything I can think of doing. There's not components-wise. I am still new on laptop repair. I replaced a keyboard and a monitor in my other laptop that I gave my sister after I had loaned it to a friend. Anyway, he used the keyboard, and the keyboard was toast and the monitor was toast because I let it fall, so I replaced them both. Anyway, gave it to my sister. Hope my nephew or her or my sister has use for it. Anyway, I don't have any money. I'm disabled. I hope to make some money. Anyway. I'm trying to get this one fixed so I can use my laptop again. Then I'm going to try to get my desktop fixed over there and see if I can get it going again. And I don't know why. My brother says they're figment of my imagination, but I think they have souls, and I think everything back in. Turn my shit off. Anyway, make sure. And sorry for all the cussing. It has power, and somehow the power is not getting there. I disconnected the CMOS battery and the battery to see if it would boot. That didn't work. Next step will probably replace the CMOS battery itself, or the power supply for the charging power supply. I did run it off of a different power supply for a while. This one didn't work that well. It might be the power supply. I used a supply for my other laptop. They're both gigabyte. So the cable hooked and it worked. And it worked flawlessly. I'm really up to shit creek because I was hoping this would work. Anyway, I really don't have money to buy the power supply. And I'm not going to sell this for parts till I try to replace the CMOS and power supply. I might have to take you into somebody else to take it apart and see if they can fix it. And I don't have that money. So I'm fucked. Damn it. Well, let's see if I can get my desktop working. Hook this back up. Put all the screws back in it. Just it's dead as a doornail. Just a gigabyte. Yeah. Won't turn on. Don't know what's going on. My voice just said they cut it off. It was working, then it didn't power back on. Dear Jesus, dear Holy Spirit, dear God, didn't do anything help weird. My laptop work. Help just won't turn on and help me fix it. Help what I did today. Turn it plug back in. I'll hook everything back up again. Put all the screws back in and try again. If I can't, help me find a way to get it working. So if I need it for my advertising or my YouTube or my other businesses, I can have it. If you're religious, it's okay. If you're atheist, it's okay. My roommate's Buddhist. I have a personality in my head that says it's Mormon. I keep running into Mormons, so it's kind of funny. But I'm Catholic. I hope I can keep my faith. I pray. I pray for this to work. I pray for my dimension to have freedom and Bill of Rights, Constitution, and all the things America has that made it great for at least 200 years. And we fight for each other. We die for each other. And I hope that dimension fights for each other and dies for each other. They're supposedly different planets. I don't know. I haven't seen them. In my dreams, I do. But in reality, my brother says this is make-believe. I think it's not. I think it's real. But then again, I'll fight. And we'll hook everything back up. Plug it in and maybe it works. It probably won't. And I will try to fix my desktop. Hopefully I can maybe get it working. If it's dead, then maybe the machine underneath it works. If it's dead, then I'm down to my tablet or my phone. That kind of sucks, but I did CES with my phone because my camera was lost. I thought one of my voices said it threw it away. Then I found it. Thank God I found it. And anyway, so in all these things I pray in Jesus Christ's name I pray. Amen. Well, I prayed now and I hooked everything back up. I really don't have the money for the parts and it's not turning on. And I've done everything I can do. So I guess we're going to try to see if I can get the desktop working. This is a failure. Hopefully I can get the parts, and I think maybe a new power supply. Maybe this one's broken, the charger, or something's fried internally. I have no idea. And the SSD's memory will change, so maybe I can just buy another laptop like this and just transfer everything over. Anyway, I don't really have the money for that. Anyway, and I like newer stuff. I like the 5 series, and I like the new AMD stuff. I'm really impressed with the AMD stuff, and I wish NVIDIA would do better. But I also know the Chinese are coming, and they're producing good stuff too. We need to get our competitive edge back. Okay, this is the machine in question. The light's blinking, so it shows it has power, but I tried before and it doesn't power on. See? Yeah. Well, every time I fix this, I disconnect everything, including the power supply, and then plug it back in and everything works again after the voice is supposedly shorted. Okay, I did unplugged everything, my laptop, and well, yeah, it didn't fix it. So I'm hoping it will with this one. Most of my hard drives and I don't other things on here. All my cables. Oh, let's see if we can take it apart. Get it to work again. I'm gonna get lucky. If not, well, I took a loan from a company so I could get this MSI motherboard and processor. I've been trying to upgrade it to have better processor, better memory. It's 32 gig. GeForce 60 series. I had a AMD card, but I sold it to give money to my girlfriend who used me, and I sent all this money to, and she never came and never visited, and she was my first real girlfriend, but maybe she was just my first real person. I don't know if she's real or not. Yeah, this SSD doesn't look like it's placed right. It should be in a case. I usually replace the battery. I don't have the battery money to replace the battery, so I pulled the power supply. I'm hoping that will work. Sometimes I replace the switch. I unplug the switch and plug the switch back in. And sometimes I pull the battery out of the CMOS and pull out the graphics card. Anyway, and if you do this right, you should tape or do something with the SSD It's kind of hodgepodge in there. And I have a 16 terabyte hard drive in here now too. I took a loan. I'm behind in rent, but I needed it for the YouTube business, and I also needed it money so I can go to the gaming event, and I'm gonna add another YouTube channel, and who knows, for the interview I did there at the IGN gaming event. Anyway, supposedly my voices had the event there too, and people from both universes went there. I don't know. Plug everything back in. Anyway, hook everything back up. Let's see if this boots. I did not change the CMOS battery, so it might not turn on. I didn't pray, but I prayed for the other one. I think the prayer comes over to this one too. Sounds like it's booting. Yeah. Hell, that's good news. Well, I've been having problems with my wireless internet connections, my Wi-Fi, and people changing my binds on my games. It really is getting annoying. And I've tried Linux, I've tried other operating systems. I've tried different mouses, different keyboards. And yes, I have taken meds for my schizoaffective, and I currently not taking meds because when I'm on meds or off meds, it's the same thing. I fight every day. Anyway.